It is 6:30. If everybody would stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Dreier, if you would call the roll. Here.
Here. Here. Here.
If there are no further amendments or additions to the council meeting agenda for June 9th, 2025, the agenda will stand as presented. And is there a motion to accept the minutes from the regular council meeting, the council work session and meeting from June 4th, 2025?
Motion to approve work session minutes from June 4th.
Mr. Daly?
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson?
Yes.
Mr. Harriman?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Terry?
Yeah.
Minutes are approved, 5 yeas, 0 nays. Moving into, we do not have any visitors in the audience this evening, so we'll move into reports. And it's been a little bit of a time since our last meeting. We had work session June 4th, but our last meeting was May 12th. So since then, met with the Semi-Quincentennial Committee in May to continue our planning for a September 2026 event. We have a meeting coming up this Thursday at 1:30 p.m. here in the conference room. And that same week, I presented to all the third grade classes at Plain City Elementary School about being the mayor of Plain City and our local government. I wanted to touch on topics such as township versus village city, because that is something that in our school district we get a lot of questions about. And so it was a really great time, and explained who council members are and showed your guys' picture. And so now they will flag you down on the streets knowing that you represent our town. I also attended the Union County Impact Breakfast, which Plain City hosted. Ms. Lupton did a great job keying that up, and it was at the depot. There was a great turnout, and everyone was impressed with the vision that we have for Plain City. I participated in the Memorial Day ceremony as MC for the event. I want to thank our Parks and Recreation Department for coordinating it with the American Legion Post 248, and it was great to have the flyover for the parade and cemetery. And there's a lot of good crowds out for the event. So that was a great day for it. Met with the communications manager, Chase Evans, about future outreach, talked about July 4th Grand Marshal, which is nominations are open until this Friday, June 13th. So if you know of someone that would be a fantastic Grand Marshal for a July 4th parade, please nominate them. And last Friday, attended the soft opening for the depot, and very excited for the official ceremony this Friday. I won't give any more details because I know Ms. Lupton's probably covering it. During the Union County Impact Breakfast, an idea came to me that I'll be working with council members and staff and PD and fire department on is something called a community caravan to go out into our new neighborhoods and do some outreach and with our new residents that are moving into town, make sure that they know the resources that are available and everything that Plain City has to offer. So looking at later in August, because I know June and July are just going to go by fast, but that is something that if anybody's interested in participating, let me know. But just really trying to get faces and names to all of our new people moving into Plain City, because I've met several that are in run at Hofbauer, Darby Station, of course, continue to meet Madison Meadows, and even Hamlet on the Darby. Oh, I attended tea with the PD too last week. I forgot that. And so several new residents were there meeting with. I won't, again, cover more in my report. So moving on to our village administrator.
Thank you, Mayor. The pool is in full swing with the new rates being in effect for resident versus non-resident. And now we're just ready for some consistent sunny weather, hopefully. But it's doing really well, and the improvements seem to be well received. Staff is participating in the Jonathan Alder Board of Education Community Forum. I believe that's tomorrow night at 6:30. And we're there just to answer questions based on development if there are any. Staff is meeting with Union County and Madison County parties regarding 161 developments on Friday morning. So we're looking forward to a productive conversation there. The Maple Street Bridge is closing June 23rd for 120 days. Fire department, post office, all the residents on that street have been notified, all emergency services, and we'll continue to put that communication out. That's an ODOT-led project. We don't anticipate it taking more than 120 days. And lastly, we do have the depot grand opening this Friday at 4 p.m. We'll open the building, have a ribbon cutting ceremony around 4:15. Little E's will be there. We'll have some live music and just a good community event. That's all. Thank you.
Question, on Maple Street Bridge, is there a sign that says that it's going to be?
There is a new sign.
There is a new
Yeah.
sign, okay. Thank you. A few sign, okay, I just
Yep.
wanted to double check. Thank you, Ms. Lupton. Our finance director, Ms. Sonnet.
Thank you, Mayor. Just let you guys know that today our auditors showed up, so hopefully they'll get wrapped up in a week and we should have everything done by the end of the month. So that's all I have.
Thank you very much. And Chief McKee?
Yes, thanks, Mayor. I just wanted to give a quick update on the hiring process. It's been very frustrating. The two officers that we gave a conditional offer, the first officer, the number one officer, actually passed everything other than the physical agility test that he had to take because he was injured at work in a foot pursuit a couple days before that. So we're kind of waiting back to see what the MRI is going to say with that. It could be 2 weeks that he comes back to work, or it could be 6 months before he returns to work at his police department now. So we told him that we would hold on as long as we could. The other candidate, there were some things in his background which I didn't feel that he would be a good asset to our community. So, and then the third one that we had on our list got hired somewhere else. And I'm sure with the shooting of the deputy in Morrow County, and then the two Methuen police officers that were shot, and then Marysville had to shoot out, so it probably wasn't a good week to be applying to be a police officer, so I don't know if that kind of stuff keeps that on the applications, because we renewed the hiring process, and we've actually interviewed one guy that's already certified, and have another guy coming in next week that's already certified at another agency, so hoping that they work out, I think the application process ends sometime within this month, so we'll get more applicants. With that, that's all I have at this time.
And how did your key with the PD go?
Oh, yes, it went great, that was the first time. It's actually supposed to be coffee with a cop, but Madison County Health Department's the one that wanted to do this, or reached out to me and asked if we could do this, and then there's no coffee shops in Madison County open at that time, so we decided to do tea with PCPD. I think there was a great turnout for the first event. Like the mayor said, there was a lot of new faces, new residents that were very pleased to live here in Plain City. They said that they had no gripes, just a lot of questions. They thought everything was going great here. Other than that, we're probably going to do it at other businesses in the future, so just watch out for that if you want to come. And they enjoy the mayor being there, so I'm sure they would like council here also, some of those. So,
Thank you very much. All right, moving into our discussion items, we have DNA grant application. Ms. Lupton?
Thank you, Mayor. During DNA's planning of the coldest night of the year in February, we had a lot of back and forth since this was a new event, and I did miss that they submitted a grant application with the documents for that event. They did request $500, and like I said, we missed it, so I didn't put it into the award last month. Since it is a lower amount, I'm proposing, and since they did pay for that event, that we basically refund, for lack of a better word, and grant them that grant if council approves, because they did get it in a time. It was just not clear.
I'm sure we would have approved it and just taken the other numbers down $100 across the board. So I don't like going outside of the process, but since they submitted the documentation and we're planning on doing it differently going forward, the last thing I want to do, the last thing of the grant would be, I don't want to turn down DNA for $500 at the very end. So I'm okay with it. Oversight on that part.
Agree.
Agreed.
Okay.
Do you have a motion to award, just like,
Motion to award a $500 grant to DNA.
Second.
Mr. Daly?
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson? Mr. Harriman?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Mr. Terry?
Yes.
thank you very much.
The grant to award DNA $500 was passed 5-0. Okay, our next discussion item is July council meeting schedule. And so had this on here because everybody is very busy with summer schedules and everything. And just want to make sure that we have a quorum, and if there's any major absences to be noted ahead of time. So I know I am out on July 14th, and we talked about no work session. How is it looking like for legislation?
I think we're knocking out a lot of stuff tonight and at the next June meeting. And I don't anticipate anything major starting in July.
So I also, so to have
I, looking at the schedule, I should be here for the 14th, probably the 28th, maybe the date I might be out of town for work.
I'm good.
I'll be here. It's August, but I won't.
so I guess there's two options. Go with recommendation of canceling the second, and then you'll have the 14th with Jody and I out, which is totally fine with me. Or you could cancel the 14th and keep the second. Does the administration have a specific second real close to my 4th? I know people are busy.
Yeah, and I'm actually out on July 2nd.
Okay, I'll just cancel the 14th and vice president, that we'll figure out around the meeting.
You said cancel the work session?
Yeah.
Or cancel?
So cancel the work session
Okay.
second, keep the 14th,
Keep the board.
and since been present before, she can run the meeting.
There you go.
I second.
Okay, so that would be, I know we have July, but you said August is when,
Yeah, I've already got my schedule for next year, and so my first games are August 11th. Like, after I pick my team, I get 7 days.
Might be, check August. We have a vacation in August.
Right. Fine.
And if there's anything that pressing came up for the work session, I guess we probably need to do that.
I'll be at 11.
okay.
I'll be in.
Oh, okay.
Could be 6. Yeah.
So technically, we're having the next meeting, and then not July 2nd, and then we're having the 14th and 28th.
Okay, and then we'll reassess at the end of
Right.
July.
Yeah.
On things. Okay. Great. Okay. Discussion items, moving into our public hearing, B-25-6 of Codified Ordinances, Chapter 1185.02, Corridor Development Overlay District of Part 11, Planning and Zoning Code. Is there anyone who would like to provide comment? Given that there is no further public comment, the public hearing for ZC-25-6 is now closed at 6:45. The public hearing for ZC-25-7, amendment of the codified ordinances, chapter 1136, amendments for part 11 of Planning and Zoning Code. The anyone that wish to provide public comment for ZC-25-7. And the public hearing is now closed at 6:46 p.m. Okay, we have a couple of motions to reappoint individuals to the tree commission. And so the first motion is to reappoint Christy Seifert to serve on the tree commission with a term to expire on December 31st, 2028. So I would accept the motion to reappoint Christy Seifert to serve on the tree commission.
Motion to reappoint Christy Seifert, tree.
Second.
Ms. Ferguson.
Yes.
Mr. Terry.
Yes.
Mr. Daly.
Yes.
Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Harriman.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 yeas, 0 nays. Next motion is to reappoint Mary McGrath to serve on the tree commission with a term to expire on December 31st, 2028.
To reappoint Mary McGrath to serve on tree commission.
Second.
Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Daly.
Yes.
Mr. Terry. Yes. Mr. Harriman.
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson.
Motion passes 5 yeas, 0 nays. And the next set of motions is regarding our shortening of the Planning and Zoning Commission. So we have to reassign them all term limits. So motion to amend the term length of Ronald Price of the Planning and Zoning Commission to expire on December 31st, 2025, pursuant to the provisions of Ordinance 14-2025.
This is so everything's staggered, right?
Yeah,
that's what I
well,
thought.
so staggered and we do 6-year terms.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's being more realigned.
Right, I thought that's what this was for.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the from term on the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Ms. Ferguson.
Yes.
Mr. Harriman.
Yes.
Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Terry.
Yes.
Mr. Daly.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion to amend the term length of Brad Swank on the Planning and Zoning Commission to expire on December 31st, 2026, pursuant to the provisions of Ordinance 14-2025.
Motion to amend the term length of Brad Swank, Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
Mr. Terry.
Yes.
Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Harriman.
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson.
Yes.
Mr. Daly.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion to amend the term length of Diana McCoy on the Planning and Zoning Commission to expire on December 31st, 2027, pursuant to the provisions of Ordinance 14-2025.
Motion to amend the term length of Diane McCoy on the Planning Commission.
Mr. Harriman.
Yes.
Mr. Terry.
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson.
Yes.
Mr. Daly.
Yes.
Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 yeas to 0 nays. And motion to amend the term length of Nick McCullough on the Planning and Zoning Commission to expire on December 31st, 2028, pursuant to the provisions of Ordinance 14-2025.
Motion to term length of Nick McCall.
Second.
Ms. Ferguson.
Yes.
Mr. Daly.
Yes.
Mr. Harriman.
Yes.
Mr. Terry. Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Passes 5 yeas, 0 nays. And we have a notice to legislative authority, Ohio Division of Liquor Control Notice of Permit Application for 101 South Chillicothe Street, Around the Clock Hospitality LLC. This is just to let us know that they have their permit application and choose to take action or not. Okay, everybody. Silence indicates taking no action. Okay, unfinished business. Second reading ordinance 16-2025, amending the codified ordinances, chapter 1163, B2 Community Business District of Part 11 of the Planning and Zoning Code.
I do have just one question on that with, and maybe Mr. Hush can answer it. So, like, to drive-throughs be located just on the side and the rear of buildings, on some of the areas that like a residential community, where it could be beneficial maybe for noise and everything to move a drive-through to the forward side of the stuff, so that you don't have more of that activity on the front side, where like, say, 42 would be, as opposed to being on a rear side. Is there a way to do that? Just have like requiring additional screening? Are they able to do a variance? What would be the best course?
Yeah, I think it'd be a case by case, scenario, see what the situation is. We could do screening, we could do a variance, we could approve a variance for it to be on the front or whatever works best for residential.
Okay, so with that, still could, if there needs to be some flexibility on kind of that specific, that's still on the table with that.
Yeah, and if it's adjoining to a residential too, there's a certain setback too, so that also goes into play as well. That don't be set back far enough that it should.
Okay, appreciate it, thank you.
Any other questions? Oh, okay. Carrie made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Ferguson,
Yes.
Mr. Daly,
Yes.
Mr. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Harriman,
Yes.
Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Motion or ordinance 16-2025 passes 5 yeas to 0 nays. Second reading ordinance 17-2025, amending the codified ordinances, chapter 1183.04, marijuana cultivators, processors, and retail dispensaries of part 11 of the planning and zoning code.
Motion to approve ordinance 17-2025.
Second.
Mr. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Lewis,
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson,
Yes.
Mr. Harriman,
Yes.
Mr. Daly.
Yes.
Ordinance 17-2025 passes 5 yeas to 0 nays. Second reading resolution 31-2025, authorizing and implementing the donations or gifts for public use policy.
Motion to approve resolution 31-25.
Second.
Mr. Harriman,
Yes.
Mr. Daly,
Yes.
Mr. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Lewis,
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson.
Resolution 31-2025 is approved 5 yeas to 0 nays. Second reading resolution 32-2025, authorizing and implementing the naming public properties policy. Is there a motion to accept resolution 32-2025?
Motion to approve resolution 32-2025.
Second.
Mr. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Harriman,
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson, Mr. Daly.
Yes.
Resolution 32-2025 is approved 5 yeas to 0 nays. Second reading resolution 33-2025, authorizing and implementing the Uptown Alley Archway Program and policy.
Motion to approve resolution 33-2025.
Second.
Ms. Ferguson, Mr. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Harriman,
Yes.
Mr. Daly,
Yes.
Mr. Terry.
Yes.
Resolution 33-2025 is approved 5 yeas to 0 nays. Moving to new business. First reading ordinance 18-2025, accepting the annexation petition of 70.5 plus acres from Darby Township, Madison County, Ohio to the Village of Plain City, Ohio. First reading ordinance 19-2025, codified ordinances, chapter 1135.04, fees of part 11 of the planning and zoning code. First reading ordinance 2025, amending the codified 20-2025, amending the codified ordinances, chapter 1185.02, Corridor Development Overlay District of part 11 of the planning and zoning code. First reading ordinance 21-2025, amending the codified ordinances, chapter 1136, amendment of part 11 of the planning and zoning code. First reading resolution 34-2025, approving and implementing the planning and zoning fee schedule. First reading resolution 35-2025, approving final legislation authorizing the Village of Plain City's participation in the Ohio Department of Transportation, US 42, West Avenue intersection improvement project. First reading resolution 36-2025, amending resolution 23-2025, and with the contract with Vidito Construction, Inc. for the Plain City Dog Park project, waiving the second reading.
Motion to waive second reading resolution 36/2025.
Ms. Ferguson, Mr. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Harriman,
Yes.
Mr. Terry.
Yes. Motion to approve resolution 36/2025.
Second.
Mr. Daly,
Yes.
Mr. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Harriman,
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson.
Resolution 36-2025 is approved, 5 yeas to 0 nays. And we have a series of executive sessions that we're about to go into. I'm going to go ahead and just read pursuant, and we will not be coming back with any further business. Ohio Revised Code Section 1.1.22G8 through G2 to consider the purchase of property for public purposes. Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G8 to consider confidential information related to an applicant for economic development assistance. And Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G1 to consider the employment and compensation of a public employee. So those are our 3 executive sessions.
Motion to enter executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Codes, section 121.22G2, consider the purchase of property for public purposes.
Second.
Mr. Daly,
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson.
Yes.
Mr. Harriman,
Yes.
Mr. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Terry.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Entering at 6:57 p.m.
Mr. Dryer, Mr. Sanford,